I just stopped into the library to pick up some of my holds that I had there. One of them that I'm planning to read this week is Crumbs, which is a really cute looking graphic novel about a bakery and magic, which like sounds perfect for me. I also got The Grace of Wild Things by Heather Fawcett, who's the author of Emily Wilde. She writes a lot of middle grade books, and this one I think is like a magical retelling of Anne of Green Gables, which sounds so cute. But now I think I'm gonna head over to the used bookstore and see if they have anything. From the used bookstore, I got a book that when I went there, I think it was in like September, I wanted this book, but I wasn't sure about it, so I hid it. I hid it somewhere in the store. I found it again today. I decided just to get it because I do really want to read it. That is The Historian. I don't know, I've heard very mixed opinions on this book. I've had people tell me it is like their all-time favorite book and that I would love it. I've had people tell me that they hated it. I don't know, but it sounds like my kind of vibe. It's like written as a bunch of letters in a quest for the truth about Vlad the Impaler. I don't know, it just sounds good. She's long, but it was only $3 also. I don't know. I feel like I'm going to enjoy it. Will I read it anytime soon? Probably not, but I felt like I should buy it since I did hide it in the store like so many months ago and then I forgot about it. All right, we're starting my first book of the year. I kind of agonized over what I should read. I basically landed on that I wanted to do a reread. I spent December rereading a ton of books and I just really enjoyed it, and rereading is not something that I do very often. So I did want my first book to be a reread, and I want to start the year off with something that I loved. Then I was like, okay, well, what do I pick? Which one do I reread? And I ultimately landed on Hench because I read this book many years ago when it was a standalone and I loved it, but I remember thinking, oh, I wish this was a series. I wish there was gonna be more. Amazing news, besties. A sequel is coming out this year. I feel like it's the perfect time to reread this. This book is about superheroes and villains. It's very much reminiscent of the TV show The Boys, which actually when I had read this, I don't think The Boys had come out yet. Or maybe it had just come out. I hadn't watched The Boys when I read this. I've now watched The Boys and Gen V, and I love them. So if you are a fan of either of those shows, you will enjoy this book. It is a very similar concept where you have this world where there's superheroes and there's villains and everybody knows about them, and society has kind of built around powered people, following a main character named Anna who works for a temp agency. Basically in this world, villains will hire temps to help them with like menial tasks. They'll do like data analysis or like getting someone coffee or just like, you know, boring basic tasks. So she's hired by a supervillain to help out for the day, and she is caught in the crosshairs between the villains and the superheroes. She wakes up in the hospital having to have tons of surgery on her leg. They're telling her that she's now permanently disabled and is gonna have to walk with a cane and gonna have chronic pain. And when she's filing the report and tells them what happened, when they hear that it was the superhero who did this to her, nobody cares. Nobody wants to hear it anymore. They sweep it under the rug. So this is kind of like the beginning of her villain origin story, where she now hates superheroes and wants to bring them down. And I just had a really fun time with it when I read it. So I'm excited to reread this and have this be my first read of 2024. Today is actually New Year's. I'm kind of just gonna spend all day today reading. I'm watching reading sprints right now with Katie, Jan, and it looks like Gavin just joined. So I'm just gonna watch their sprints today and read, and I'm trying to manifest some good vibes for the year. Also, nobody talk about the fact that I still have my fall decor up, okay? It's cute, okay? It's cute and cozy and I love it. Something that I love about this book is that it's really written like cinematically, and it feels like a TV show in the sense that it's actually only like, let me see, I think it's only 8 chapters. Yeah, 8. And each chapter feels like an episode. So I can see this being adapted. It could even take place in the Boys universe because it feels very, very similar to that. This was his Christmas present from my parents. Don't you just love how noisy it is? I it. Thank you. I did want to show these two Christmas gifts that I got. I got them when I was taking my break from filming over the holidays. So this first one is from Erin, and it's Untethered Sky by Fonda Lee, which I have been dying to read because I loved the Greenbone saga, which, have I finished it yet? No, I have not. But I love it. But I'm really excited for this one. Also, just because I love novellas. Does this cover not look epic? Thank you, Erin. And then the other one I got, which I'm also very, very excited to read, is Scarlet by Genevieve Cogman. This one is from Elizabeth. Thank you very much. Listen to the pitch for this book. It says, France, 1793. Revolutionaries want blood, but vampires bite back. It's the French Revolution with vampires. Doesn't that sound so great? These covers are so pretty. Thank you very much. I was very excited to get those over the holidays. As you can see, I'm still watching the sprints. And where's my book? I am 100 pages into my reread of Hench, and I'm still really, really enjoying it. And something that I'm really appreciating this time that I assume it's one of the reasons why I loved it the first time that I read it, the disability rep, the chronic pain rep. I'm just really relating to a lot of that. Also, oh my God, Loki looks so cute right now. Look at him. Oh my God, he's serving. Oh, the sunlight. Ooh, oh my God. Oh my God, if only his ears weren't curled back right now. I need to do something with my hair. I don't know what I'm gonna do with it. What's happening? What's happening? Wait, we're gonna fix this. We're gonna fix it, okay? I'm gonna show you guys my method to the madness. The most important thing is this, okay? It is Color Wow Dream Coat. I always wait till my hair is dry to like use my Revlon thing, which this is the second thing. So it's these two things. All right, I'm gonna section my hair off, and you wanna spray this like liberally. You wanna use a lot of it. So you spray a lot of it. You have to use something like a blow dry brush or a blow dryer and a brush, and I'll show you the results. All right, that is the finished hair look, and it literally took me 5 minutes. There we go. That's how I do my hair. Nobody asked. Literally nobody asked. Why is my bedroom literally the most nasty, unflattering light ever? That's better. Oh. Yes, I have a bag of cookies on my bed, okay? Mind your business. I think I'm going to watch a couple episodes of Grey's Anatomy because I've been binging that a lot recently. I think I'm on season 9. It's the season after the plane crash. I'm almost done with it. I think I have 2 episodes left of this season, so I'm gonna finish it. I've watched all of Grey's Anatomy before. I just hate myself and wanted to watch it again. I watched so many times. Like the first 5 seasons, I've seen so many times. After the plane crash, I've only watched once. So now all of the seasons that I'm watching right now, it's the first time I'm watching them again. So I'm gonna finish the season that I'm on and then read a little bit more of Hench, eat my bed cookies, and then probably go to bed. I've been a grandma lately and I've been getting into bed and going to sleep between like 8 and 9 o'clock. We're getting close. All right, I finished Hench today. This is still a 5-star book, which I'm very happy with. I think I might have even enjoyed it more this time than the first time. It's just super, super fun. It's a great villain origin story, and I'm so excited now for book 2. I think it was a great idea for me to reread this as my first book of the year, because that means we're starting the year off with a 5-star, and we're setting the vibes. We're setting the intentions. It's gonna be a good year because this was a good book. My next book that I'm gonna start tonight is going to be Iron Widow by Shirin J. Zhao. This is a YA sci-fi dystopian that I've heard amazing things about. This has been highly, highly recommended to me, so I'm super excited to read it. I believe this is about like a future where aliens have come down, and in order to fight them, humans have built these like giant robots that people get inside and run them to fight off the aliens. I think it's been compared a lot to Pacific Rim. Like, have you seen that movie? Oh, I'm gonna start this tonight. Oh my God, wait, but also, hold on, let me go get my laptop. All right, I purchased Allie from Hardback Hoarder, her spreadsheet. She makes book spreadsheets and they're always amazing, amazing. And this year she like hit it out of the park with them, but we can put my first book into it. I finished it. It was 408 pages. It's a 5-star. Okay, I don't think I'm gonna fill out everything. Like literally, do you all see how many things there are to track in here? And this is just one page. When you do that, it goes into your bookshelf. So you'll have all of the books that you read eventually will be in this shelf. And then it automatically put things into my monthly stats. So we already have that. I read one book, I read 408 pages, I've done one reread. I am 50 pages into Iron Widow now, and oh my god, the setup for this book is so good. So yeah, like I said, there are these big aliens that have come down. In order to fight them, young girls are selected to be a concubine pilot, which are supporters that are paired up with male pilots that power up the chrysalises, which are the giant like transformers that fight the aliens. So in the prologue, you're following one of those male pilots who is using a ton of power, and in doing that ends up killing his concubine co-pilot. And she was the sister to the main character. So the main character's sister died. And so now she is setting out to get revenge on the pilot. So she enlists to become a concubine so that she can get close to him and kill him. And that was where I stopped, where she sees him for the first time. She's like, here he is, the boy I must kill. Y'all know, I do love a good revenge killing boys book. So far, it's going really great. I do kind of struggle with YA a lot lately, so we'll see how the rest goes. But if it keeps going the way that it is, I am really, really enjoying it. Oh my god, like the main character just did something and I'm like, yes, girl boss. The action is already so good. I love the main character. I'm rooting for her so hard. And this world is so interesting, like this idea of these like big transformer armor things, and then having pilots that have like psychic mind connections and like using chi as your power. It is so cool. I'm loving it. Okay, I finished Iron Widow. Why is this the best book I've ever read? 5 stars. This was, oh my god, this was amazing. Everyone who told me that I would love this book was absolutely correct. If you want female rage literally injected into your veins, read this book. If you want a main character who only wants revenge, does not care about anything else, does not give 2 fucks about anybody, read this. Obsessed. No notes. No notes. Perfect. I am so glad that I waited so long to read this, which normally is not something you would hear me say when I'm reading a new favorite book. But I'm so glad I waited so long to read this, because if I had read this years ago when it came out, and then found out that the sequel was not coming out until 2024, I would riot in the street. I ended up having so much to say about this book while I was reading it that I filmed an entire spoiler vlog for my Patreon. So if you want to hear like my very in-depth, literally page by page thoughts, like I was setting up the camera every 5 pages, you can check that out on Patreon. Kiss them already. I'm sorry, they deserve to die. I'm sorry, Grandma deserves to die. She doesn't care about nothing. Men are sick. This is so good. This is so good. It was so good. It was so good. If I had read this in December, it would have made my best books of the year list. I was obsessed with the main character. I loved the romance in here. There's a polyamorous romance that I was living for. Oh my god, the directions that this story took, I was not expecting. It was just amazing. Iron Widow was very heavy, very dark, very intense. So I feel like to break up those vibes, I am gonna read Crumbs, which is the graphic novel that I picked up at the library the other day. This just looks like a cute and cozy vibe. The art style inside it is very cute. I believe it's about magic and romance and baking, which just sounds perfect right now. So I think I am just gonna get a little cozy here on the couch and read this. I feel like it won't take me very long to read. Okay, as I was sitting here reading that, my doorbell rang and it was Amazon, and they brought me The 7-Year Slip by Ashley Poston, which I'm so excited to read. I am gonna be reading this very, very soon for a specific video. If you know, you know. I loved The Dead Romantics, so I'm very excited to read this. It is a romance book that I believe has to do with like time travel. The premise kind of reminds me of that movie The Lake House with Keanu Reeves and Sandra Bullock. They're in the same place but different times, and they find a way to like communicate with each other, and I love that movie. I'm so excited to read this later this month. Reading update, I finished Crumbs and I think I'm giving it 3 stars. I thought it was cute. I really liked the art style, but I think the plot and like the story left a lot to be desired. It was also just very long. Like for the plot and the premise, it's long. I don't know, like the romance elements of it I thought were cute, but then half of the book follows this plot with the main character and her job, like working in this like secret magical government agency. She like gets an internship with them, and so half of the book is about that, but I feel like that aspect of the plot is so underdeveloped and really not explained at all. At no point did I ever really understand what it is that she was doing at this job. And that takes up like a very good portion of the story that I just feel like wasn't very necessary. And I don't know, it was fine, it's cute. If you're looking for a cute graphic novel and this sounds interesting to you, I would pick it up, but it's not my fave, it's not my fave. Today is the day. It is the day that I am preparing for the next Wayward Children book, which comes out next week. It's book 9. I'm so, so excited. Every single year, the new Wayward Children book comes out the week of my birthday, and I feel like it's just a personal birthday gift to me. So in order to prepare, I am rereading books 7 and 8. You guys know this series is my Roman Empire. I'm obsessed with it. The story that we're gonna be following in book 9 is a continuation of these 2 books. So I wanted to reread them to remind myself what happened in them. Also because I think that this one is my favorite book in the series, but I've only read it once. I need to reread it in order to 100% make that determination, because I've read all of the other books many, many times. If for whatever reason you were just born yesterday and you don't know what this series is, you've never heard me talk about it, this is a series following children who found doorways into other magical worlds. Usually these are all children who are escaping some sort of trauma in their life, and a magical door will open up for them to lead them to a new world. The series is following a school where these children end up going after they have returned from their magical world and had these crazy adventures and have a hard time readjusting into the real world. So they will end up at this school for wayward children, and a lot of them really want to go back into their worlds and find their doors, but their doors won't open for them. The books alternate, so the odd books all follow a continuous plot line at the school of the children and their adventures there, and a lot of them wanting to go back into their worlds. And then the even books are prequels that follow different characters that we meet actually in their magical worlds. I love all of them, but the prequel books are always my favorites because you actually get to explore all of these different doorways and magical worlds. I'm gonna reread these and I will let you guys know if this one actually is my all-time favorite. Okay, I finished my rereads. I'm correct, this is my favorite book. The whole time that I've been reading this series, I have said I believe that there is a book for every reader, and the way that I view it is like, you will find a book in the series that is your personal door to your own magical world. This one is mine. This book is my door. I don't know if you can tell, I was crying while I was reading it. I cried the first time, I cried this time. It might be the only book in the series actually to make me cry. This one is dealing with the heaviest subject matter. Trigger warning for child abuse and grooming. I feel like this is one of the best depictions of grooming that I've ever read in my life. And something that I love about Shauna Maguire so much is the way that she's able to write something very traumatic and have you feel the weight of it, have you feel how heavy it is, know exactly what's happening without having to explicitly on page read it happen. She realizes that you don't have to witness the actual abuse to feel the weight of it. I also just love the theme in this book of loss of innocence. The main character in this book, Ansi, ends up in a world that is this magical shop that actually acts as like a nexus to other worlds. So it's the shop of like lost things. So anything that is lost ends up in this store. Inside the store are all of the doorways. So all of the doors to the other worlds will appear in the shop. She can go into all of these other worlds, but going through the doorways every time has a cost. And this book was describing the experience of loss of innocence, loss of your childhood, and how trauma in your childhood slowly chips away these pieces of you, forces you to grow up quicker than you should, and you might not even realize it happening. You might not see the effects of the trauma day to day until one day you look in the mirror and suddenly you don't resemble yourself at all. And I can't wait now for the next book to come out because I think it's a continuation of this story where this story ended. And I'm so excited. I'm so excited. This series is just amazing. And honestly, I feel like every time I reread a book, I get even more out of it than the first time. It's perfect. It really is. But now I'm like, did I make a mistake reading these? And the next book doesn't come out till next week? Because now what do I do? What do I do until then? What do I read? What do I read? I have been doing my makeup and listening to my next book, which is this, Till Death Do Us Part. I've been wanting to read so bad. It's a cozy fantasy romance. It sounds amazing. Unfortunately, the audiobook is terrible. The audiobook is so bad. I don't know what is going on with the narrator. His voice sounds muffled and like I cannot understand what he's saying. I even slowed the audiobook down more than I normally do. I can't understand him. I feel like this is gonna be a book that I have to physically read, which I'm just not in the mood to do right now. So I'm gonna find something else. Okay, I think I might just give up reading. I think I'm in not a slump, I think I'm in a hangover because I tried to pick up To Be Taught If Fortunate because I was like, yes, a Becky Chambers, perfect. I got like 20 pages in. And again, I think this is a book I will love another time. I'm just not into it right now. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's because every book that I read this week, other than the graphic novel, was 5 stars. Like this was a killer week for my reading. Granted, I did do a lot of rereading, and I'm also just like waiting for the new Wayward Children book to come out. Like that is what I want to read. And these 2 books just were not doing it for me right now, even though these are ones that I do think at another time I will love. So I feel like that makes this a good place to end this vlog. I did have an amazing reading week with all of these books. We had a reread of Hench, which is still a 5-star book. Iron Widow, which is 5-star, definitely going to be a favorite book of the whole year, which, can we believe I already have a favorite book of the whole year and we're only in the first week. Crumbs, a cute graphic novel that was a little lacking to me. The 2 Wayward Children books, which we have now determined that this is actually my favorite book in the series. And then these 2 books I will just have to save for another time when I'm not feeling the book hangover. If you made it to the end of this vlog, leave a fire emoji for the new love of my life, Zetian, the Iron Widow, aka my wife. Thank you guys for watching. If you liked this video, please like and subscribe and check out my Patreon where I post tons of exclusive content. I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!